In my opinion, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here is an undeniable classic. From its quiet beginning moments all the way through to the glorious cathartic finish, this is an album that everybody must experience. Alright, Wish You Were Here was released in 1975 and was Pink Floyd's ninth studio album. After Dark Side of the Moon, the Floyd was reached with various heights of popularity and mainstream success, and I think all this attention really played with their psyche. I believe this success was very troubling for the band, and they didn't know how to cope. And you can hear it on tracks such as Welcome to the Machine and Have a Cigar on the album. I believe also too, when they were in the studio, the group had a lot of troubles maintaining eye contact with each other. I think there was a lot of animosity amongst certain members of the group at the time, and you really hear it on this album. You know, like I said earlier, some songs on this album really lashed out at the music industry, while others were a fitting tribute to Syd Barrett, you know, the band's former mentally deteriorating former frontman. Alright, let's break into the tracks. The first track on the album, as everybody knows, is Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And all I have to say about this song, it is purely amazing. It starts off with a very hypnotizing keyboard of courtesy of Richard Wright. And you know, after couples of that mesmerizing keyboard work, you have David Gilmour's spectacular guitar melodies. The guitars alone is reason enough to love this song because it's simply gorgeous, but it also is very simply effective as well. The guitar continues with huge crescendos and climaxes until it falls away and we hear Roger Waters' haunting vocals. So as the story goes, Syd Barrett actually paid the group a visit in the studio when they were recording Wish You Were Here, and nobody recognized him because of his poor mental and physical condition, and nobody recognized him at first. And when they did, I think it really was an emotional time for them seeing somebody in that state. Alright, following Shine On You Crazy Diamond, we have a song called Welcome to the Machine. Now this is the Pink Floyd really criticizing the British and American music industry. This is a tale of lies and deceptions, and it takes place as probably the most darkest song on the album and probably one of the most darkest songs of the group's catalog. The song starts off with some very eerie machine sounds, which is obviously made to simulate the machine. And Gilmour comes in with some very classical sounding guitar lines right before he sings that infamous line, "Welcome, my son, to the machine." This song is quite technically amazing to me, but rather emotionally disturbing, and it stands as one of Roger Waters' best lyrics. It is definitely a highlight of the album and probably my second favorite on the album. Alright, if we flip the album over to side B, if you had the LP version, we would have a cigar. Now this is another attack on the music industry, but this time it's a little less harsh and it's a little more tongue-in-cheek. The music is quite upbeat. Gilmour's guitar on this song really shines through, and they have a guest by the name of Roy Harper doing the lead vocals on this album, because I think I read somewhere that neither Roger Waters or David Gilmour were very happy with the vocal takes that each one of them had did. I could be wrong, I just remember reading that somewhere. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. You know, but overall it's a decent track on the album, but it is to me definitely the weakest. Now we come into the epic title track of Wish You Were Here. I don't care what anybody says, this song is probably the most well-known Pink Floyd song. Best way I can describe the song is it's a phenomenal. I got nothing else to say other than that about it. It's a very fitting tribute to Syd Barrett. It's very earnest and heartfelt, and is actually downright heart-wrenching when you take in context of the lyrics. And you know, once again we see Roger Waters being lyrically at his poetic best. And like I said again, this song is nothing short but mind-blowing. The album comes full circle by continuing to shine on You Crazy Diamond saga here. The song is very much compared and is very similar to the first one, but overall it has a little bit of a darker tone, which I like because it kind of doesn't have that so much airy floating atmosphere. This one's got a little more grounded and a little more sinister, as I get that feeling from it. Well, I'm going to have to say this album is a definite masterpiece, and I'm going to give it an A+. I highly recommend it as well. You know, even though it was recorded in 75, you know, it still sounds like it could have been recorded today. It's that well done. The undeniable passion that the group had recording this album, the follow-up to The Dark Side of the Moon, is without a doubt not an easy task. And I think that really motivated him to record this album, because it does sound somber a lot of the time. But that's, I think, what makes it such a classic. So this would be an essential rock album and should be in everybody's collection. I give it an A+, I think I already mentioned that. So let's just look at a couple of the different formats of it I have. This, of course, is just the standard domestic CD. I'll quickly show you the book here. All this artwork is available on the original EP, or original LP as well. Some lyrics as well. It's got to be one of Floyd's most least lyric heavy album, in my opinion. Not a lot on it. Alright, and then when the album was released back in 1975, and I believe on a lot of the reissues, it came in a kind of a black bag. Well, whoever had mine nicely cut out this off of it and left it in the jacket when I bought it, as well as a couple of these stickers. And of course this postcard. Alright, now let's look at the vinyl really quick. I'm sure everybody's pretty familiar with it. Of course it's the back. This is the inner jacket, and there's the credits and lyrics on one side. Of course, that on the other. And with the custom sleeves, there's of course the first side. And there of course is the second side. Alright guys, thanks again, and we'll talk to each other soon. Thanks, good night, bye.